One of my biggest disadvantages in life was that I constantly had negative thoughts in my head. Whenever I tried to take a challenge, like for example, cold approaching a girl or studying for a test, I would constantly have negative thoughts in my head like, you're not smart enough, you can't do it. Oh, that's just ridiculous, you're not meant to be successful in it. I just wasn't confident in myself. I felt like I wasn't good enough. And the main reason why this was because of my trauma from school. You see, even though I was really good at the subjects that our teacher were teaching us, like for example biology, history, and even maths to some extent, I wasn't really good at Slovakian language, which is of course my mother tongue. But you see, just like you guys from English-speaking countries, Slovakian language is pretty hard, and especially the grammar. And you see, back when I used to go to primary school, back when I was still just a little child, the teachers were drilling into our minds that you just have to learn Slovakian, otherwise you're just stupid. You just have to learn the grammar. You have to learn the most autistic details that you can think about. Otherwise, all of your school career means nothing. It doesn't matter if you love history, for example, if you love chemistry. No. All that matters is that you have to be good at math and Slovakian language, nothing else. And you can just imagine my mom being stressed all the time. I remember once when she was making sure that I knew these particular subjects in Slovakian language. I was, telling her about the topic and I didn't knew much. And she yelled at me for like 5 minutes, I think. And she even threw the notebook that I had for Slovakian language on the floor, like it was a piece of garbage. She used to yell at me all the time. And when you combine this with how much our teachers at our primary school used to yell at us, you can just imagine how much my self-esteem went down, and my confidence also. How much that fucked up my mental health in the long term. But don't worry, now I'm in middle school, and things are much better. They don't really stress about Slovakian language anymore, but it's still a threat nonetheless. But it is a way smaller threat than it used to be. However, the thing is, when you get yelled at for 9 years straight, you get called a dumbass by your mom, by your teachers, those authority figures that supposedly know everything because they have been alive for longer than you. Then of course, it has to be true, right? And so then I went into puberty, and bro, I was really, really awkward. Like, I used to go to school with a shitty hairstyle, like I didn't even groom myself. I didn't even exercise, so I was skinny as fuck. And I was really insecure about my voice, because I didn't know how to get it deeper and more manlier, if you know what I'm saying. I basically sounded like if I ran a marathon, and I was trying to get as much oxygen inside of me as possible. And so I stayed like this for the next 2 years or something. And then, in summer of 2023, everything changed for me. For the better, because I got onto self-improvement. And with this new opportunity, I took the chance to learn about trauma. And let me tell you, when you actually understand trauma and leverage it to your advantage, that's when you can truly overcome it and become the best version of yourself. Until I actually overcame my trauma, I was speaking like I was nervous all the time, like, oh no, please don't yell at me because of my bad opinions or something. And I was so much less confident because, I had these negative thoughts in my head that were constantly yelling at me all the time that you aren't good enough, you can't do anything because you're a useless piece of shit. You see, during my self-improvement journey, I made one big mindset shift that changed my view on trauma forever. Every single bad experience is a good thing when you think about it. I know that at first sight, it may seem absurd, right? Like, how could your mom calling you a useless piece of shit, she didn't call me that, by the way, how can that be a good thing? Like, she was yelling at you, right? She hates you. Well, no, you dumbass. If you genuinely think that your mom was yelling at you because you got bad grades, because she actually thinks that you're stupid and she hates you, hold up one of your hands and slap your face. She was not yelling at you because she hated you, you maggot. She was trying to motivate you in some kind of weird way to actually get you to study, because that's exactly how her parents, your grandparents, were motivating her to study. So in some kind of weird way, she was showing you that she loves you and that she actually cares about you. She wants a better future for you. She doesn't want you to work the same shitty job like she has to, working 8 hours every single day. She sees your potential and she wants you to blossom. But of course, life isn't easy. It won't give you valuable lessons, just like that, how they give you in the education system. In life, you have to fail first, and then you get the lesson. You have to find the lesson. And it's just that you haven't found the lesson yet, and that's what I'm trying to teach you. You must learn how to learn from your traumatic experiences and from your mistakes also, so that you can prepare yourself forward and succeed in life. And I don't blame you for thinking that she actually hates you when she was yelling at you, because I did also. You see, in our modern world, when you want to improve yourself and become a strong, masculine and a stoic man, like we want to become on this channel for example, and in our clan, life isn't easy for us, and that's okay. And that's why we have to grow every single day, so that we become smarter and more wiser and better observers of life, so that we can take these lessons every single day. Trauma is a good thing because it teaches us something that we didn't knew before. Like for example, look at your teachers. Think about how much they used to yell at us, for example. Just think about it. They probably had their own families at home for which they had to, take care of. And then she had our classrooms where, our classmates used to be loud all the time. They used to pull pranks, they used to not behave. And then you forgot to revise for your chemistry exam, or I don't know. And then she yelled at us because we didn't knew what she was talking about, because we forgot to revise for it. And so you can take this as a source of motivation, because the next time you work on your business, for example, you can remember her and think to yourself, I don't want my future wife to end up like that. I want her to have financial freedom. And so you instantly work 10 times harder than ever before. Or if you have any kind of different drama, like for example, when you went skating when you were 5 years old, you accidentally broke your arm. And now you have a trauma because of it. Because you remember the pain, you remember how you were crying back then, you remember the blood spilling out of your hand. Yeah, I know. It wasn't pretty. And I know the memory is still painful to this day, but don't worry. It's okay. You are older now, and you are more wiser. You are now stronger than you were back then, and you can balance yourself easier. And maybe skateboards weren't for you anyways. Maybe you like to ride bicycles instead. You just never know. So that's a life lesson that you can take out of it. Maybe work harder to improve your balance. Start doing exercises that improve your balance. Or you can basically try another way of traveling, like riding a bicycle, riding a motorbike, for example, because skateboards are just not for you, and that's completely okay. What doesn't kill you? Huh? Huh? Makes you stronger, right? I know you've heard this advice millions of times before, but trust me, this has helped me tremendously. Because you see, there's a famous saying that goes, reality is changed by its observer. And that observer is you, my brother. It is all of us. Every single one of us on this earth creates their own realities. And so when you classify your trauma as a good thing, as a source of valuable life lessons, your trauma starts to heal like never before. Because you see, even until now, almost 3 years after I left primary school, I still get less confident from time to time. Like when I have to record these videos, for example, sometimes I don't trust myself behind the microphone, but I always say to myself that 99% of The source of these negative thoughts come from primary school and my primary teachers yelling at me that I was stupid because I didn't knew in 6th grade where Australia was, for example, or I don't remember. But you get what I'm saying. You see, 99% of your trauma comes from your early childhood, specifically during the time when you were between 0 and like 8 years old, I would say, because that's the optimal time when you were still really little and new to the outside world. You basically knew nothing about the outside world, and so you heavily relied on your parents and on your teachers also. And so when you had that one very complex and insecure teacher from primary school or kindergarten even, who was constantly yelling at you because you were one of the, quote, slower ones from the class, then of course when she yells at you that you're stupid, that you're useless, that you're good for nothing, then you actually believe it. And you stop being so happy and so confident in yourself. And you can see this in your voice, for example. Like for most of my life, I didn't talk in this happy and upbeat tone. I used to talk like this because I was so anxious. And that was all because of the primary teachers who were yelling at me all the time. And so now, I and you have to both assure you that it's okay, that you're not useless. You have to actually manually think yourself that you're not useless, that you're amazing, that you actually can do anything that you want to do. Because now you're a young man on self-improvement. Or not young anymore, you're a real man. If you're still watching this video 11 minutes in, then I can call you a part of our clan. Because you genuinely do deserve it. You have a better attention span than 99% of people, and that's the kind of person that we like on this channel and in our clan. You'll be a great suit for our clan, because if you were never good in the education system, then that doesn't mean that you won't be good enough in the real world, in the world of self-improvement. On self-improvement, we are chasing 3 great desires, and those are relationships, wealth, and health. Relationships basically mean like getting your dream wife and finding close brothers that you can even cry in front of, and to which you can view as a really healthy competition that you can use to prepare yourself forward. In which, by the way, if you want to join a strong clan, and if you want to connect with me, then you can join our clan Discord in the description. I know that you will find your place over there. Health basically means like achieving your godly 10 out of 10 physique that you want to get, and improving your mental health, also like healing your trauma, like what we are doing right now in this video. And wealth, that basically means like achieving financial, location and time freedom, basically becoming a businessman that you've always wanted to become, and retiring your parents, for example. Do you think that your mom will call you useless once you retire her? Of course not. You're now older, you are now more wiser. You know that the education system isn't suitable for you, right? So why don't you join us on this path to greatness, on self-improvement, and improve your mental health, so you can create this wonderful business for yourself? If you wish to join us, type yes in the comments. Because when you think about it, we as men on self-improvement, we are not doing this just for ourselves, but we are doing this for the people around us also. That's the reason why we have the relationships big desire. It's, for example, creating a better future for our children, so you can use your traumatic experiences to get better in those fields where you failed at. Meaning that then you can prevent your children from having them also. And I know that if you're watching this video 14 minutes in, then you're just like me. You actually want to have children. And I know that we will be great fathers for them. And you want to become the best father for your children, right? Just imagine your daughter smiling at you. You know, she's this lovely princess and she's calling you daddy. And then you have your son who is trying to, like beat you up, but not in a bad way. Like he actually wants to punch you. He's just trying to brawl with you. And you can see it in his eyes that he actually enjoys the time that he spends with you. Don't you want to give the greatest life to them? So why don't you start by healing your trauma and improving your mental health? You see, the main reason why trauma is truly holding us back is because we are mindless all the time. And when we are mindless, we constantly get new thoughts in our heads, and often these are negative ones, like what we've been talking about in this video. So if you want to improve your mindfulness, then I recommend that you start gratitude journaling. Basically, every single day when you wake up, you manually think about something positive to which you are grateful for and state a reason for it. You start meditating every single day, where you basically close your eyes and only focus for one specific activity for a certain amount of time. It can be your breath, for example. This will greatly help you in the relationships, for example, when you try to talk to someone. Okay? So apply this new positive mindset of growth, where every single mistake, every single traumatic experience that has happened to you in your life and that will happen in the future is a valuable life lesson, and take advantage of it to create a better future for yourself and improve your mental health. That is the reason why the channel banner of our YouTube channel is mental health is the key, because without it you can't move anywhere in self-improvement. So start meditating and gratitude journaling every single day. Join our clan Discord in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you.